Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Past the Barb. Today is Monday, January 2nd. I am your host, Adam Bartusik, and it is 2023.
First episode of 2023.
We're back. And joining me up top, we've got out in Montana, Mr. Will Stolski.
Yep, just made it back today, actually, from Minnesota, not too long ago. So
there we go. Will's back from the Great White North. In the bottom, we have got our two Packer fans, Mr. Cody Honor.
Frickin' A, bud. Frickin' A.
And Mr. Ryan Pinkalla.
Not even mad at it.
There we go.
It's a great weekend.
That guy. That guy is my guy.
Well, perfect. All righty. So we're going to dive into this. I think last episode, Pink and I just hopped on real quick, and we just kind of did a little bit of recap of the year and then just had a best of episode, basically, since we were all busy for the holidays. But yeah, now we're back. We're going to be rolling. And for people who are new to the show, there's some great episodes in the past you can go catch up on, but welcome to Past the Barb. And yeah, so I think right away we'll just dive into some current events first. Yeah, Will, how was your holidays? We haven't seen you for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it was good. I went back to Minnesota for a little over a week, so it was nice to be home. Did a little bit of ice fishing, not too much. Went to Red Lake for a couple days and fished locally around home a little bit. But yeah, it was nice to be home. Nice to see the family and all that stuff. And the weather was actually really, really nice in Minnesota when I went home. So that was nice. Shitty when I left, but then it warmed up. So
yeah, it's been pretty mild, to be honest. We had that one polar plunge for a few days, but for the most part, it's been pretty mild.
Yeah, so that was definitely nice.
Well, nice. Honor, how was your whole Christmas and New Year's? You get any good gifts from Santa?
Santa, no. Yeah, Santa thought I was kind of an idiot, but no, it was a good Christmas. We got to see a bunch of the family that I haven't seen in a while, so that was fun. Got to see a lot of there's two new cousins that are like, I don't know, 6 months old, year old. So got to play around with them.
I bet that makes you want to have kids like now, right, Cody?
Oh, totally. Yep. That's
baby fever in the Honor household.
2023. Let's go.
Time to have a
no. No, but it was a good Christmas. Got to see a lot of people and got to see my grandma who knows how many more years of that. So it was a good Christmas.
Nice. How about, Pink, you and I kind of talked about it a bit, but the boys weren't here. How was your Christmas?
Yeah, mine was good. Went back to Wisconsin, down in Milwaukee for the whole family, and it was a pretty good party. Everybody came out, so that was always good. We literally went down and back. We drove through that like real shitty weather, like on Saturday. Pretty much drove to Milwaukee, partied all night, got up like 5 a.m. and drove home. So I think I slept for like 1 hour, maybe.
Kind of a business trip,
Yeah, just got to get it done. So, but it was good. And then we did kind of a thing back at our house with my sister and stuff. So it was cool. Just a lot of traveling, man. A lot of traveling.
Yeah, I feel that. That was kind of like mine. I think, like I told Pink, like this was my first year having Christmas like with a significant other. So it was basically like back and forth. And like, it was fun to see everybody and went to like, I think like 5 different Christmas parties, but it's like by the end of it, you're like, I would just want to lay on my couch. I'm tired.
Yeah, it gets to be a little exhausting.
But it was all good fun. New Year's, we were over at Waldron's, had a great time. Had a bunch of beers, hung out with the boys, and just had a jolly old time. But that brings us into the new year. With the new year, we all got new things going on. So I think first thing we'll do, I don't really know which way this is going to go, but first of all, we'll do some New Year's resolutions. I think it's always a hot topic this time of year. And whichever way you take it, I think it's kind of your own thing. But there's no like every flip of the calendar year, I feel like everybody's like, okay, I need to focus on this or do this. Even if you're someone who's like, oh, whatever, it's just another day. Like it kind of feels like things kind of do reset. Maybe it's different for you guys, but what do you think, Will? You got anything New Year's resolutions wise?
I think in terms of fishing, I would like to catch a bull trout in Montana.
What? So like, is that just a different species of trout?
Yeah, it's a different species of trout. They're big. They're actually native to Montana, but they're really only found in like kind of the western half of the state. I've never really.
They're pretty rare, aren't they?
Yeah, tough to catch, and very regulated. I think obviously you can't keep them, but there's even certain times you can't target them. So I would like to do that though, and I guess going off that, I'd like to fish a little bit more on the western half of the state. I haven't really fished that much over there. Mostly just been fishing around Bozeman and Helena since I've been here, which the fishing is good, but I would like to kind of push west a little bit and explore some new waters and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'd be stoked to catch a bull trout because they are the biggest trout, river dwelling trout. Anyways,
Twat.
Some twouts.
It's
river dwelling
Yeah,
twat.
that trouser trout.
That would be.
I get you.
That'd be my
You're
fishing
single.
goal.
I understand.
I gotta see. Yeah, I want to see more of the.
Got to get to the west side of the state, check things out.
I ran through all the Tinder and Bumble. I'm running out, and Hinge too. But actually, I gotta go on a quick tangent because I've got a great.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay,
Come on, beat me.
It's about Hinge. So for those at home that don't know, Hinge is a dating app. It's like Tinder or Bumble, but in my opinion, it's probably the best one.
Oh yeah, the premier.
I would agree with that.
Seems to be kind of the top dog. So one day, like not that long ago, I need to show my TV off, so it's not. I was this is maybe like 2 months ago. I try to go on my Hinge account and it says I'm banned. My account is banned and I can't get in. And so I'm like, well, for what? So I file an appeal and nothing. I don't get anything back. I'm just like, I'm banned. I can't go on it. I'm like, well, this sucks. So week goes by and I'm like, I gotta dig into this a little bit. So I get online and this has happened to other people too for no real apparent reason. Cause I swear I didn't do anything that warranted a ban. I didn't think anyways. So I go on the Better Business Bureau. Okay. And
wow, you went deep.
He's all in, dude. I'm getting a lawyer.
I take legal action. I file a claim against Hinge or its parent company through the Better Business Bureau. And I explain my situation. I say I've been wrongfully banned. I filed an appeal. No action has been taken. So a week goes by, right? I don't hear anything. I'm just like, well, no more Hinge, bummer. I get an email from the Better Business Bureau with the response from Hinge, and they admit they wrongfully banned my account and they reinstated me.
He's back, baby.
Well done, sir. Well done.
A little advice, if you guys or anybody listening, you ever get banned, just go to the BBB, file a claim, and you will get reinstated. So
it's worked 1 out of 1 times.
The big dogs
were too hot for them to handle. That's all there was.
There was a glitch in the Matrix, but I made it right. So that was my biggest win of 2022.
Better Business Bureau getting Stolski back in the game.
So in other news, in 2023, Will's other New Year's resolution is to find a lady. He's on Hinge.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice, but, we'll see.
First and foremost, bull trout. But
yeah.
Bull trout.
Yeah.
Start there. Maybe start there.
All right, Honor, how about you? Any New Year's resolutions for you?
For me, last year was probably the least amount that I've fished in my entire life over the course of a season. As corny as it sounds, I do want to fish more, and I've kind of got a plan to fish more. And so I guess that's kind of my plan to stick to is fish over 150 days this year is what I want to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because I know you had, I mean, like you and I filmed together and everything, but like I'd come over and you'd be like, I haven't fished in 3 weeks. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and it sucks because like when you're fishing like that, you like everyone knows it on this podcast or the people that are listening. When you go, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without fishing, you get super rusty.
Yeah,
you just get lost in touch with what's going on. And it takes another week in order for you to get back. So,
well, and even like we dealt with Hunter, like just the simplest task of like launching the boat, or like when we first started filming the Chronicles again this year, like those first day or two, just like getting everything moving. You're like, oh my God, this like, took an hour.
Yeah, exactly. So it would be super nice to just get on the track of like what I've experienced before and just get on the rhythm of launching the boat, going out, knowing where the fish are at, catching the fish, coming back in, showing the Instagram picture, which everyone wants to see or not see, but doing like just being in tune with nature a little bit more and being out there a little bit more.
I feel that. Pink, how about you?
I kind of got two things I was going to say. So one, I kind of say this like every year, but my goal every year is to always hunt like one new species that I've never hunted before. And I think I got a couple opportunities that might be in the works to do just that. So that's got me kind of excited a little bit, but I try to do that every year. So I'm going with that one. And then two, I feel like I just want to do more, like film some more stuff for myself. Like I feel like I wanted to do that for a long time, and things are setting up pretty good to do that this year. So some of the, trips I go on or adventures, whatever, just to kind of document some more of that stuff, even if it's not, stuff I'm putting out like crazy all the time, just kind of stuff to be able to look back on and just like have, so I think that's probably where I'm going with it. Something like that. But no, definitely the whole new species thing is something I've been doing for the past like 5 or 6 years and been pretty fortunate to be able to do it. So it's been pretty cool. So kind of want to keep that rolling.
Yeah, no. And the documenting thing, like, I mean, you and I have talked about it a ton where I've told you like, you need to just get them out and stuff. Cause I mean, what people maybe see on the outside is like, yeah, you're putting out this cool content or cool videos or cool series or whatever it is. But really like the reason I do it is like, years down the road getting to go back and watch, and you forget about things that happen. Like that's why you put quirky things in videos that you forget about. Like there's just so many memories, and being able to put that in a video somewhere, like it just re-triggers all that. Cause I feel like you do so many things in the outdoors, like my brain anyways, I lose space for it all. So
yeah, for sure.
It's nice to get reminded.
Well, and like, even just like being able to share, like I got a lot of family members that don't do any of this stuff that I do, or like buddies too, that are like, God, that sounded so sick, just to be able to show them like how something went down, in a totally different place that they've never been to is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, like porcupine hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Exactly. I need to see a porcupine hunting video.
Yeah.
Dude, I got some booners.
Have we figured out, has anyone hit you up on how to score those yet, Pink? Nobody.
No, crickets, man. Absolute crickets on that one. We're gonna have to
thinking it's weight and quill length.
Quill length?
Quill length and weight.
Greatest quill length?
Yes.
Or you grab like four of them.
Kind of like a turkey. It's like the what are these called with the turkey?
The spurs?
Spur and beard length.
Yeah.
And then weight. We could do something like that.
I think weight for sure.
Weight for sure. And then I think quill length would be, it's porcupine.
You have to. That is fair. Okay. Well, then I guess mine, I had a couple of them I was kind of thinking of when we brought this up. And I think the first one really anybody who knows me, like if you knew me like 3 to 8 years ago, and Will probably remembers me being like this, I was early to everything. I was always on time. I was always early, and I was always really poignant with my time. And as I've become my own business owner and like just gotten really, really busy, I am constantly late, and I hate it. Like, I hate it more than anything. So I kind of started it actually at the beginning of the Chronicles season, with like making sure I got the videos out and everything, because I've been late on those before. But I think this year, like, my biggest goal has been like, I want to be 10 minutes early to everything again. So like, I'm going to try to really make an effort to do that, because over the past however many years, I've found myself, instead of being 10 minutes early, doing one more task, and then I end up 10 minutes to 30 minutes late. And I think it just takes away from, not maybe the enjoyment of everything, but you know what I mean? You're just constantly in a rush. Your head's just flying. And so that's the first one. I'm just going to try to be 10 minutes early to things now.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you out every time you're late.
You're going to be on Lombardi time.
Yeah. That's
what you plan on being. Lombardi time.
Yeah. I want to be a winner.
Okay. Yeah, you do.
But so that's one. Like, I think that's a tangible thing that I think a lot of people would actually appreciate who hang out with me. But then the other one, kind of as cheesy as it is, like Cody said, I want to fish more this year, and I do fish a lot. But the reason I say that is I literally can look at 2022 and say that I went fishing 3 times without a camera or pre-fishing or fishing a tournament.
Yeah.
3. And like that, when you think back on it, like when I first started my business, like I was going out after work just all the time randomly. And I was, like Cody said, I was so in tune with everything. And then, I went to my first year of the Opens, and I got kind of pretty high into filming a lot of it. And I haven't felt the love go away, but you just feel distant from everything. So I think my goal for this year now, and kind of the way I set it up, is like, I'm not fishing more than 2 big events in a month, like things like that, and just trying to make more time to go out and really enjoy the outdoors, like the way I got into it. So I'm hoping to just fish more, especially in the summer. Like, you got a nice boat and you love going out and fishing tournaments, but what's a nice boat if you don't get to just go enjoy it once or twice a week?
Right. And go explore and try different places, try new lakes. Like that's the biggest thing that I missed was just going by myself. Mm-hmm. Like, I love fishing with people, but just going by myself and exploring new places, rather if I caught anything or not, just finding new places was the biggest thing for me.
And it was always a thing for me. Like, I think one of the ways I fell in love with the outdoors and fishing so much was like, it's kind of the same way, I guess, with like reading a book or storytelling, is like your brain can just get lost in a completely different world. And then when you like step off the boat at the end of the day, you almost exit that world.
Yeah.
And I miss that feeling. I don't feel like I've had that feeling in a long time. So I'm looking forward to like getting that back and going on. Like the most recent time I had that is when I went up north in the fall and just went fun fishing for 2 days. And I was like, okay, yeah, that spark's still there. It's just, I've had a camera around way too much lately. So it helps you recenter everything.
Yeah. Plus it's okay to like suck when you're by yourself. You can just go out there and you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel, because whenever you take somebody else, you feel like you gotta figure something out,
Yeah, it's like the best part about fishing by yourself is like you can fish for 10 hours or you can fish for 2 hours and be like, okay, I want to be done now, and be done. It's only up to you. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. And I think like with that, like it's a thing of, I'm like, the way my brain operates, I'm always so time oriented. Like I want to dedicate like immense amounts of times to things. And I want to be able to more be like, I'll drag my boat to a lake that's 10 minutes away to spend an hour and a half on the water. Cause like I've never really been that person, like to just go fish 1 or 2 spots. Like I want to go for 4 or 5 or 6 hours.
Right.
So I think that like that's an easy way to spend more time on the water. Just go dump in for an hour, hour and a half, fish a couple spots and go home. So yeah, that's a little tangent there, but I think those are all important things we all touch in on, and people don't maybe necessarily see about us because they see us in the outdoors and everything so much. It's just, you get wrapped up in a lot of different things. But okay. So moving on from New Year's resolution. Okay, we have a big callback from old episodes. We have breaking news from a couple days ago. They got him. Will,
Gotta be him, right?
Fill us in. This is your story, so you got to tell everybody who's maybe not heard it. Give a little bit of a summary. What do we got going on? Who'd they catch?
So, quick background, and I do think this is now national news. I think it's sort of
it did. It
for sure
it blew up everywhere once they found him.
So before Thanksgiving,
it was
right?
The episode before Thanksgiving. You brought it up to us,
and it happened. I think the week before that, there was 4 college students that were brutally murdered at the University of Idaho. They were stabbed to death while they were sleeping on a Saturday night. And then time went on and they didn't make any arrests. There was like hardly any announcements. People were getting so worked up that there was no announcements made. We talked about it a little bit, and I don't know who it was, but I think someone was like, well, maybe they've got a guy and they just don't want to like blow the cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but someone did have the idea of like, what if they are on a trail and they just don't want to put anything out there? Because there's no way, we thought, with what was going on, they didn't have a trail at least.
Well, plus they'd like gone silent. Like there was no new information.
Nothing at all. So just recently, I think this was, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Like 2. Yeah.
They arrested a guy, 28 years old, a PhD student in the criminology department at Washington State in Pullman, which is like 10 minutes away from where the murders happened. There's not a lot of information about the guy yet, but I'm excited to see what comes out. By all accounts, he was like kind of a semi like genius and was super into criminology and probably serial killers. So I think he thought that he was going to get away with it, and he didn't. If it's the guy, we're assuming that it's him, which I think it is, and I think by all reports they're pretty sure it's the guy, right?
Well, yeah, if they're gonna blow this up,
that's what he was going to school for, was criminology.
Yeah, and getting his PhD. And then I read, and this is unconfirmed, but I read this tonight that there was a Pennsylvania cop was like tailing him for like the last week or so, and he was like going to the grocery store 2 weeks and was like wearing gloves in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like trying to cover up, but obviously something, there was some evidence there, some sort of DNA. So pretty crazy stuff.
Well,
the guy went to college basically to figure out how to become a serial killer.
Well, it's weird. It's like, it's not, I don't know, if you ever watch Criminal Minds, like this is a weird serial killing, like, ooh, but because he only did it in that one spot with 4 women, and I'm sure, and there was 3 women, it was one guy with his girlfriend, and it's super odd. Like he went with his parents back out east, and they found him back out east. It's just super odd how this could happen. And maybe it's just so odd because he was such a psychopath. I don't know, but it was super weird. Weird how everything went down.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I don't know if it'll come out, I guess, did he just pick just random college students, like was there a motive there?
Well, there was this guy who was saying, he's like, yeah, he would like at parties and stuff, he would like just randomly like put me in a chokehold and like put me in an arm bar. And I'm thinking of people that I've gone to high school or college with, and I'm like,
oh my
yep. But it was just a strange, like super strange behavior from that single person, and why he would, like, I don't know, target these 4 people. Who knows?
I think it's developing story right now.
It's developing, but it's the huge news is they actually found someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're very sure it's him. So
yeah,
I think it
was
I think
49 days.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see too, like you said, Cody, how there was nobody else, but has there been? Because he's been so detailed with like covering it up or like being weird and hard to follow and stuff that like, is there more? And maybe that's why they waited too, is because they were like, oh my God, we can connect a lot of stuff, which I don't think that's been out, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's just wild.
Well, now
Right.
I think the play-by-play is going to be national news because, like,
Yeah.
it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Right.
like a national
Yeah,
news
shout out to
now,
Matt
so-
Waldron, listens to the podcast, and one of our good buddies. He literally texted us that link. It was like, they got him. And that's how I found it out. I was like, oh my God, they did.
So for all like 20 of you that are listening, his name is Christopher Koberger. Christopher Koberger. He's a
That sounds like a
20-year-old.
killer name.
Yeah. And no, he was going for like criminology, like to basically if you've ever seen the show Dexter on Netflix, it's playing on Netflix right now. If you ever seen the show Dexter, like this is what this guy was basing his life off of.
Yeah.
Like
the plot of
and
Dexter.
yeah, it's ugly.
So
Ugly.
people are just twisted, dude.
It's crazy, and yeah, like you said, Pink, it'll be national coverage now. So like every detail about this guy is gonna come out. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Very interesting. But all right, so that is our callback to a past episode. We had to touch base on that. Now we're going to move on. I think, we'll do your WikiFind in a sec. First, we're going to go to notes on your phone. So this is a segment. We haven't brought it back in a while because we all haven't been around, but this is a segment dedicated kind of to the weird things we see on the road. It's just random notes we jot down on our phone at random times when we are in places, or just random thoughts we have. And we haven't checked on this in a long time. So I thought this would be a good one to bring back. So does anyone want to start? Cody does. We got Hunter just, yeah. Hunter gave quite a look right
Oh
here.
my
So I
God.
think we're in for a treat.
So every year the NHL has an outdoor game. It's called the Winter Classic. And it's a really cool game set up, NHL professional hockey league game that's set up in a cool location. Like, I don't know, it could be in a stadium, it could be in some remarkable place, but this year it was put in Fenway Park, which is in Boston. And the thing that I laughed about the most was the outfits that they had these guys walking out in.
Yeah.
Was just horrific.
You didn't like those little hats or what?
You didn't like the throwback Red Sox unis?
They had the bats with the throwback unis from like Boston. Like, oh yeah, we're going to Fenway. And then you had the Peaky Blinders from Pittsburgh coming up and walking out of the bus while they've got, you can see their Zyn pouches and like pouches sticking in their pockets. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was fashion disaster.
Dude, they even wore those hats out to warm-ups.
Would be, oh, it was horrible.
It was disaster.
It was horrible. It was just a disaster.
Oh.
Game was amazing. The show was a disaster. Why are you making these guys dress up? They had to be just dying to themselves. I cannot imagine what that bus ride had to be like as they're dressing up. They had to be, the chirp had just to be amazing.
They just had to be looking at each other
I
like
wish I was there.
They're just like, I get paid for this, whatever.
Yes. It was unbelievable. Look it up.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything like that at the Winter Classic last year that I remember.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah.
No, this is very different.
Maybe that's leave that one on the cutting room floor.
That was beyond.
Yeah, and I've watched the Winter Classic like since it was a thing.
Yeah,
and unprecedented. what just went down.
It was horrible.
Oh
my
God. But no, that's a good one. I'm gonna pop in with one here, and Pinkalla's gonna get really mad, but I threw this on my phone immediately when it happened when we were filming up north. And I don't know, this could go either way, but I thought it was very bizarre, and everyone in the cabin thought it was very bizarre. Did you guys know that they make a hat travel case? And Pinkalla owns one.
Yeah,
and travels with it. It is legitimately like it is a zipper case for hats, like a suitcase for hats. And we were sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden he's sitting there, and he just unzips it, flips it open, pulls out a lid, puts one back, zips it back up, puts it away like nothing happened. And we're like, what the fuck? We've known you for years. What is this?
Dude, that's
what I will say, it went from like
brand?
It went from like 3 minutes of talking shit about it to everyone being like, hit me with that link, though.
Yeah. I don't think we were really talking that much shit. It was more of being like, what the fuck is this? Do you have it easily accessible, Pink?
No, it's in my truck.
Okay.
Well, so it's probably stolen.
Then it's it's definitely not easily accessible.
Yeah. I can never figure out a way how to store those things.
That's the deal, dude.
It's Pink. Can you find the link and text it to everyone? Because it's actually crazy. Like when I saw it, I was like, "This is legit."
There's a couple places that make them, but I'll send you the one that I have.
I've just never seen an accessory thing like that. I'm sure like skateboarders or whatever people who got to wear hats all the time have them, but I never thought someone in the fishing or hunting industry would have that.
You got to keep that. You got to keep that thing crisp.
But you got to just throw it on your dash and let it get super sun faded and splotched in random spots.
Yeah, but what if you're ripping 2-3 at a time? Like I gotta, hey.
Yeah. What if it's not your truck though? What if like you're traveling, someone like picks you up, dude? You gotta
fair
keep that thing.
Fair enough.
The worst is plane travel, dude. Trying to bring that with. All right, I just hit you boys with it.
Check this out. It was I couldn't quite get it into the Chronicles episode because it wouldn't have made a lot of sense, but it brought the house down.
I think that's sick, dude.
It is. Yeah. You can put like 4 or 5 of them in there at a time.
Oh, dude.
This thing rips.
For people listening, is it Melon?
Yeah. But I think there's like other brands that make the exact. I'm sure they all just make the same one.
Yeah, it's a hat travel case, and I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's like a kind of like hard foam material.
I do need that.
Oh, and you can put it on your roller bag.
Yeah, dude, it's got a little strap that goes around there.
Dude, you see a guy rolling through the airport with that, he means business.
I mean, it's dialed. Like, if you're going to get something for like that. Yeah. I don't play.
That's nice because I do hate when you travel with hats and they get all smashed up in your bag. That's the worst.
Exactly.
Like, when you get a crinkle on a hat, it's just
it just kind of kills you a little bit.
I know I can wear it, but it's just
you're like,
It's like,
yeah,
ruined. That I should have put that on my Christmas list, dude.
Hey, maybe maybe the Easter Bunny will. He'll bring you one.
That's true. I might ask for that.
Hurry up on that Hinge. Get a little Valentine's gift.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, baby.
There you go.
My birthday's right before Valentine's Day, so it'd work out perfect, actually.
There we go.
There you go.
Better get on it. Start swiping.
Will, do you got a note on your phone? I do have another one, but we'll just keep going around.
So I don't have, to be totally honest, I don't have anything that is at all recent, but I do have this. And it's, if Thanksgiving food is so good, why do we only eat it once a year?
I mean, that's valid.
This is valid.
I don't know. I think maybe I'm not a huge Thanksgiving food guy. I like Thanksgiving food, but the only time I really eat turkey like that is at Thanksgiving. And it's not like the rest of the year I'm like craving a turkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I not just like a casual Wednesday. You're just like, I'm gonna go buy a bird.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna get this 20-pound butterball and get it going. You know, I mean,
I think the only thing that falls outside of that is potatoes. Like I'll eat potatoes whenever.
Mashed potatoes all the time.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
Yeah. But maybe I'm just not a huge whole turkey guy. That could be it. But
I think the infatuation is that all that food is really, really good one time a year. It's like top tier one time a year food.
I don't know. Thanksgiving rolls into Christmas. I could eat that shit. I could eat that stuff like at least 2 times a week.
Yeah, I would agree.
Stuffing,
Like going into winter,
gravy.
it's the perfect going into winter food.
Up until like March when I got to start fishing again. Oh,
Well, yeah,
Give
this
me-
is not
give
like
me a-
hot weather food, dude.
I'll be your
I don't think
butterball.
anything sounds worse than a Thanksgiving meal in July.
Like you do Thanksgiving for like
Can you
Can you
very
imagine how
good.
July, dude.
miserable that'd be?
If someone does that, they
All
are
right, let's go
serial
fishing.
I got to put the turkey in. Hold on.
Hold on, I just got some stuff. I got some leftover stuffing for the trip today. Do you want some?
Yeah, you got like a Ziploc bag of stuffing.
No, Will, that's a good point. I remember when I was in college one time, like after Thanksgiving, it was probably in like February or something. I was grocery shopping and stuffing, was cheap as shit. And I'm a broke college student. I was like, I normally like stuffing. So I got some and then I made it. And I was like, this sucks. Like, why am I eating this right now? Not at Thanksgiving. This was a
Stuffing
bad
was-
idea. And I never did it again.
It's a no-go. But
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only one I had though. I don't have anything timely, so
No,
that's a
that's
good one to noodle on there.
yeah.
That is a good one. Pink, what do you got?
So this is recent because it just happened, and I wasn't gonna bring this up just to bring it up, but I think Hunter, you can probably relate to this. I don't know if Bart, you will be able to, but this weekend, I mean, whatever. Packers played the Vikings, went pretty well for the Packers. Pretty much, I don't know what happened, but I've never seen this.
We're gonna bring this up later in the show. Come on.
This is semi-related. We're not getting into the weeds here.
All right.
So, okay, Green Bay Packer tickets are like some of the hardest sports tickets to like get your hands on.
Mhm.
Pretty much. I mean, like the people that have season tickets, somebody has to like die for you to get season tickets from somebody else. And I don't know how this is possible, but no less than 75% of my Facebook friends were at this game. I don't know how it's possible, but
Yes, dude.
literally all
I
I
like
could see
Agree
was
with that.
people
I
at this
don't
game.
understand how it happens.
How is that
'cause
even possible?
So
Like,
we
yeah, but
we
hold on.
have been our family has been season ticket holders since like long time ago, before Lambeau Field was even a thing.
Mhm.
Like when they were down in Milwaukee, like they were season ticket holders and rolled over to Lambeau. Well, you can sell those tickets and put them up online if no one wants to go to it. So
Right, yeah.
you think like what does Lambeau have? Like they can have 100,000 people, say?
No, I think it's up to
100,000.
50, but yeah.
No, it's not 50,000. It is
Really?
not 50,000. No.
Google it.
I am.
All right, go Bart now.
Just keep talking.
Fact check that.
So you
Anyways.
say you have like 85 to 100,000 people.
81,441.
There we go. Okay. But look at their max capacity that they have at games. It's usually like 90 to 92,000.
Yeah, because they have the bench seats, right?
Yep.
And then standing room only.
Yep. So they'll have that. Now imagine how many people actually go to every single game. They just
Right.
put them up on ticket stubs, and like 50% of
Well,
the
yeah, you can
people
pay for
in
your
that
season
stadium-
tickets by selling like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how our family does it.
Yeah. I just thought it was wild. I mean, like, because I know a lot of the people that I'm friends with are Green Bay fans and that kind of thing. But I was just like, literally everybody is there. Like, what the like? How did I?
Yeah, or it's like the box seats. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the hell is
Yeah.
your poor ass doing up in them box seats?
know.
But I swear to
And
God, I was just
it'll be like
scrolling.
some corporate trip who is passed down the line, or like I got invited to one of those box seats because of a long line of lists like allowed me to get an invitation to go to a box seat. Like
Yeah.
10 steps down, I'm allowed. So I'm gonna have to shake hands and be like, well, this guy's my friend. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
No.
I agree though, Pink. I saw so many people that I went to college with and stuff, because I went to college in Wisconsin, that were at the game. I'm like,
Well, and it's like
everybody's
it would be one thing if it was like, oh, these people are always at these games, but it was like this game in particular, somehow everybody was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
agree.
how that's possible.
it was crazy.
Well, it's like it's such a commodity. Like, have you ever been to a night game at Lambeau?
No.
I mean, it is stupid. It is.
Yeah, I want to bad, but I guess I should have been there this week, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's so much fun.
Could have probably carpooled.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway,
that's a good one. Hunter, do you have another one, or I got one?
No, all up to you.
All right, I got one, and this is a good one, and it's basically the point of this this segment. I think I just have typed down DQ fire starter, and my mom reminded me of this while we were home for the holidays. We were driving. We went to go get DQ somewhere, and we were driving through getting just some burgers or whatever. And she looks at me and she's like, "Do you remember the last time you and I were in a DQ drive-through?" When we were up in Cold Spring picking up the boat. And this is what reminded me. So I was up in Cold Spring picking up my new boat. It would have been like last March or whatever. And pulling to there's like 2 fast food restaurants in Cold Spring or Richmond or whatever. And DQ, I've always liked DQ. I think their burgers are fine and fries are fine and everything.
Yeah, it's a good fast food joint.
Yeah, it's a good fast food joint. Not as good as Culver's, but I'll take it.
No.
And so anyways, we get in the line and we're driving through and make our order or whatever. And like there was a manager and a kid on the intercom. So it was obvious they were training someone new and they had signs for help wanted everywhere. So it was like, whatever, being patient with my mom. We pull up to the, the window, and they're walking us through the process. This kid's helping out and everything. And then the manager kind of steps away and she's standing by the front. It would be that front desk area or the front ordering area. And he's kind of going through everything. And I watch this guy. He grabs my flamethrower, coincidentally, and sets it the flamethrower burger.
Oh,
and
the name of the
okay.
Name of the sandwich.
Yeah, he just takes my flamethrower right out of my hand.
Just a second here, and he sets it down in the heating area in the bag, and he's handing me my card back, and all of a sudden I just see spontaneous combustion,
like under the
of
heat
the
lamp?
paper bag, and the manager just starts screaming. And runs and throws him out of the way, grabs the bag, chucks it across the room, just starts smashing on it, going to get a fire extinguisher and stuff. It was fully engulfed in flames.
And Bart's like, yeah, just get that to go, I guess.
Yeah. So anyways, she was yelling at him for 20 seconds, but then she chilled out and it was like a teaching moment, but it was also just absolutely fucking hilarious.
And this is in the restaurant.
This is in the restaurant, at the drive-through window. I just watched my bag with my flamethrower spontaneously.
So you're in the car?
I'm in the car. The window's right there, and I'm looking.
Just drive away. I don't know.
Your bag's actually on fire.
It combusted. Yeah, it was full flames. I don't know how else to explain it. It was on fire.
Really put an emphasis on the flamethrower burger.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was good
How
marketing.
Did that not make the news, bro?
It was unbelievable.
That's a DQ flamethrower burger starts on fire.
TikTok.
Oh, dude, it would have been unbelievable.
TikTok.
It was so funny.
That could have been a viral ad campaign.
Huge missed opportunity there.
Dude,
Viral
it should have been honestly, if anyone,
that would have been a TikTok for the making.
If any of our 250 listeners or whatever it is happens to be a worker for DQ Corporate, go look at the Cold Spring or Richmond security cam footage from March of 2020. You're gonna have to look through a bit, but I promise you,
it's the one with the fire.
It's the one with the fire. And you can use my audio saying, "Yeah, I'll take a flamethrower meal," and then you can use the of it just starting right on fire.
Oh, that would be just golden footage, dude.
Dude, it was unbelievable. And then the best part was she looks, and we don't want to the kid felt terrible. It might have been his first day. So his face is super red and he's really embarrassed. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And so they make me another one. And this time he doesn't set it there. He hands it over to me. And we just pull away. But it was unbelievable. It was so funny. I couldn't can't believe I forgot about that. But
so moral of that story is that there's a place in every DQ that if you set a bag, it will start on fire.
Well, I think he left it there for a solid minute or two. Like, it didn't happen immediately.
Well, that seems like you should be able to set something down without starting on fire, though.
Well, it's the warming area. You know where they slide down like the food, like the person in the back makes it, and then they slide down the burgers.
But what
and
if it's not 500 degrees?
I don't know. I'm just telling you. He set the paper bag there, and it went boom, fire.
God.
But yeah, I thought that was a good one.
That
was
an awesome story.
Yeah, that's just you run into a lot of weird stuff at fast food places. I don't think I'm ever gonna see my to-go bag just spontaneously combust again.
Like,
I mean, it got lit, but you know,
like you see the genres that are at certain fast food places, and it's amazing. It goes across the board. Say like a God. I know
what you're saying.
Say a Chick-fil-A.
They all got their own personality.
They've all got their own personality,
and they're distinct.
They're very unique.
Very like we know what we're getting when we're going to Chick-fil-A. I know that there's going to be some like bubbly, girl who's in high school like greeting me at the counter. I know what I'm getting at Culver's. I know Wendy's. I know McDonald's. I know KFC. I know all of them.
Chipotle.
By now, Chipotle. I know every single person that I'm going to be greeting before I even get there.
I will say, you've been to Arby's in a while.
No. Wow. Angry.
Oh, how the great have fallen.
They must be treated horribly.
Oof.
They don't got enough roast beef no more.
No, it's like a Chick-fil-A. You've got some cute, like perky, like fun, bubbly, like girl who's working at the counter. Hi, what's your name? Cody. Hi, Cody. How are you doing? I don't know. I've been driving for 26 hours. Give me a fucking fucking McDonald's. I don't know what give me something. And they'll come out with it, and they'll give you a water and a lemonade while you're waiting for it. It's amazing.
And it doesn't start on fire.
No, it's amazing.
But no. All right, so if nobody's got any other notes, we will move on to another recurring segment of the show. Assuming he has one, but it has kind of become a staple basically now.
I've got one. It's
Will's WikiFind. Here we go.
I'm gonna be totally honest. It's pretty weak this week.
Come on, man.
Well,
I just got home and I had like 10 minutes before this started, but
dig deep, son.
It's funny though.
You better sell the fuck out of this.
It's kind of I don't know if funny's a word. It's a video game, okay? And it was released in 2004.
What's it called? What's the article called?
It's called, it's the name of the video game, which is called JFK Reloaded.
Oh okay, we'll allow it.
You set the bar low, and I'm ready.
Yep. Nope, I'm back in.
And if you're thinking what you're thinking, you're probably right. The video game is just a reenactment of the JFK assassination, and you're Lee Harvey Oswald.
You're the shooter in this game.
How's that legal?
Tell you what, it's not bouncing 24 times.
That's the game, dude. Is literally, it says recreate assassination of John F. Kennedy. The player controls Lee Harvey Oswald, the 6th floor window of the Texas School Book Depository in Dallas. As Kennedy's motorcade passes, blah, 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 the player has to take 3 shots at the president with their sniper rifle. They gained points. Shit. They gained points based on how closely they matched the Warren Commission's report. So you got to be accurate. You have to be real. The first has to miss the car. The second has to hit Kennedy in the neck, and the third in the head. Jeez, I didn't read the fine print here.
And what, this is for like Xbox or what?
Yeah.
This is your find?
I think
What
so.
sort of
There's no way this is real.
And this is called JFK Reloaded.
I don't know how to like hook it up to just YouTube, but we found our killer.
This is it, dude. Yeah, JFK Reloaded. Obviously the reception of it was not very good.
What are the ratings? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think it did well sales wise. But yeah, that's the WikiFind.
Why would they?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. There's like some screenshots from the gameplay on the wiki article, and it's exactly what you think. A crosshairs on a motorcade.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm like actually blown away. That's like, yeah.
Yo, Google it real quick and look at the logo for this game.
I haven't seen the logo, but let me look.
Just type.
Is Marilyn Monroe like a part of this game or not?
I see the logo. It's just the one with the crosshairs.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's the words and then it's his head with crosshairs over it.
This is like a hybrid of like Grand Theft Auto. And, dude, what the fuck?
Well, Will, I think you found the most unbelievable one.
I didn't.
And people think Call of Duty is the reason we've gone downhill.
Yeah,
some kids finding this.
Yeah,
well,
JFK Reloaded. So
I think that was the best find you've had.
I mean, I'm just shocked that this is like
Lawn Chair Larry was pretty good.
Yeah.
When I clicked on it, because I was on some giant Wikipedia thing, you know, like trying to find something interesting, and then I saw that it was like a video game one. It's like weird video games, and I saw it. I'm like, JFK Reloaded. Is that what I think it is?
And it was exactly what you thought it was.
Okay, this'll do.
All right, well, there's Will's wiki find of the week.
Wow.
JFK Reloaded. Oh my god. All right. Anyways, so now we are going to move on to, well, I mean, we can go two ways basically here. We got what in the world is going on, and we got a topic I'm sure everybody wants to bring up in this room right now because we have two Packer fans. So I'll just let you guys take the floor real quick, and then we'll go into what in the world's going on.
I mean, I don't even know that anything really needs to be said.
Of course he brought a hat.
I mean, I think I might just let that one marinate a little bit, you know, because they pretty much curb stomped the Vikings in every conceivable way.
See that, Bart? You see that? That was a gritty.
I will say that was a savage thing to do that early in the game, and then back it up the entire time.
Hey, that was so good.
Wow,
that was so good.
I listened to the game because I was driving yesterday, and the Paul Allen, who is the Vikings playbook, he was so disgusted the whole game. It was just like,
and for being like a Vikings fan, he might be the one that turns fastest on that team.
Oh yeah, no, he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
After like
he's very good at his job. He's very funny to listen to.
But he will just destroy them at a flip of a coin, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The whole time. So it was entertaining in that sense. But the outcome was
was it entertaining for you?
Not the outcome, but the commentary. It was just embarrassing, really, I think.
I thought the game was very entertaining.
I thought it was super entertaining.
Yep,
I
was entertained.
I thought the Jaw trash talk before the game was amazing.
Well, yeah.
And then while he was able to actually back it up was spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. 100% spectacular. And I know exactly what you're thinking up in that top left corner. They're like, oh, he had safety help over the top. That's what safeties are for, you dumbass.
I mean, he had like double and triple coverage helped the whole time. But
Double
he
and
did do
triple,
great.
double. He was over the top of him 20 out of 31.
He also had 0
20
catches
out of
through 3 quarters.
31.
The
20
plan
out of
worked great.
31.
The plan worked great.
Yes.
Hear that?
I think this is why Will and I talked about how just unbearable Packer fans are.
No, when they come into Lambeau, they're fucking awful.
Yeah. You know what Kirk
Minnesota
Cousins'
fans are
record is against
awful.
Aaron Rodgers?
Probably
Not good.
500.
I believe it's 5-4-1 or 4-5-1. So they're 500.
Oh, the best thing that Vikings can say against the Packers fans is they're like, "Oh, well, you made the NFC Championship game, but you didn't win it." That's the best thing you got. That's all you have.
I have receipts from you from the first week saying congrats on your Super Bowl. So I could spin that around and say congrats on getting to 8-8 and maybe making the playoffs.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
Congrats on your Super Bowl.
I'm telling you right now.
Congrats on your Super Bowl, Cody.
If
I'm glad you're happy.
Our Super Bowl? No, that's you guys. I'm telling you right now.
That's us. We were clinched it already in the 2 or 3 seed.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. No.
It's like
no.
an game,
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying right now. You guys are soft. We're getting hot. I'm not saying that we're going to make it to the playoffs, but if we do make it to the playoffs, that is a team I would not want to play.
But I will say
team that is going to run right into the 49ers.
Minnesota playing some playoff caliber football right now, though.
They're looking really solid. They're looking really solid. Yeah.
This is just
basically 41 and the game was basically 41-3 up until we put
2-minute warning.
all of our our backups, and it was a pretty solid game.
You know what? We'll just see. We'll see what happens now. It was a beat.
I guess we will.
Right? Guess what? There's playoffs for a reason. We'll see if
we took our lickings. That was fine.
But it's funny. It's funny how it happens every single time that I'm
not feeling the every single time thing. You're 8-8. I don't remember that every single time.
Ja was saying well, he's not human. He doesn't put on a Superman cloak, but it's funny how the Packers seem to do it every single year and make a deep run into the playoffs, and the Vikings don't. It's crazy.
How that
at this point, I might be just excited for you guys to make it just so I can watch you lose again.
It's hilarious.
I'll invite you to my Super Bowl party.
Hilarious how it's such a better program.
It sounds like this was your Super Bowl. I haven't seen you this excited about it all year.
Can we go back?
I've been talking trash.
You just got to 500.
Oh no, I've been talking trash.
You damn right we did.
I mean, it's good. You guys kicked the shit out of us. I'll admit that. It was an awful game. We sucked, but the reaction I've seen from all the Packer fans being
it sure felt
it's literally hilarious because it's the most hypocritical thing in the world. After we won the first week, and you're like, "Congrats on your Super Bowl," and then you guys do this when we already have the NFC clinched and everything, and it's like, okay,
it's the same reaction.
Well, the Vikings just play so well in January. I think they're going to do.
I'm ready to be done talking about this.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
No, it's fine.
It's a stupid argument, and all that matters, like Ryan said, is January. So we shall see.
We will see. And the Vikings, I texted Cody in our friends group chat. I said, I'm very happy the Vikings got their one absolute blow up of the month out of the way. They've done
it took them a whole day.
Yeah, they got it out of the way early, right before the playoffs. They've done it every single month. There. They've had one just explosion. So, I mean, I am a little worried now, but this team's just been really weird all
Really?
year. So
You're gonna
we'll
lose
just
to the
see.
Giants.
I think the thing I'm most worried about, and I think Will would actually just
If you don't
sympathize
lose to the
with me in
Giants,
this
you're gonna
compared
lose
to
to us.
listening to our Packers fans
It's
down here.
It's all speculation.
I'm
from all
more
sides.
I'm more worried about the fact that we lost Schlottman and O'Neal in that game to like
broke
season-ending injuries.
broke his
So we're
leg.
down to third and fourth string.
ending injuries.
all
We
line.
do that every single year.
This is the Packers. I'm okay. We get it.
You're
Cody.
getting
Good
muted,
job.
Hunter. Okay, but that's the thing I'm most worried about is the fact that we actually did lose some players, which sucks. But yeah, we got our asses kicked, and yeah, the Packers, they get to rub it in our faces, and that's fine. But we'll see what happens next week. See if they make the playoffs, and we'll see how everything rolls out. I'm sure they will, based off of just the way everything goes.
Honestly, it'll be a really tough game.
Yeah, the Lions are playing really good, so
they're super good.
Is it
Well,
in
and they're
Lambeau?
coming off a blowout
Is it in
win.
Detroit?
no, it's in
Lambeau.
Lambeau, so that's kind of what sucks. Yeah,
And I think
yeah, we all know what's going to happen here. It
but
just
they
really
absolute-
sucks
hey.
that they have to play the Packers because it's like I think all of us would agree it'd be really cool to see the Lions make the playoffs, and it's like, well, now they're running into the unstoppable force.
it's
So-
extremely hard to win in Lambeau, especially
It's-
this time of year.
Yes,
They're just like that time of the year, and then they have a roll. Like it's now 4 games. Now they're going to go on going into 5 games,
And as much as I
and
hate
now
to-
they're
this
picking
happens.
up on their
Yeah.
defense. It's
no, they
Well,
look
and it's a
good.
divisional game. That's a good rivalry too.
Mhm.
So.
yeah,
for sure.
it'll
But,
be a really
okay.
good game.
We needed to get that out of the way before the what in the world is going on, because otherwise
Thank
it was
you.
going to spiral that way. So there we
I
go.
was- I was
But anyways, moving on to what in the world is going on. I am very not prepared for this segment. I will just lead that off. So what in the world is going on? Do we have an article, Mr. Ryan Pinkalla?
I do.
I figured you would.
Yeah, I got a pretty cool one. So, I don't know how much you guys saltwater. Do any saltwater fishing at all?
I have not in a long time. I know, Will, you guided
Yes.
down there, didn't you?
There was a time when I did. Yeah, I did one winter guiding in Florida, but not so much since.
Yeah. So I mean, I love doing it. I just don't get down there enough. But so Florida, fishery that has been heavily managed and actually closed since like the 90s. They're reopening back up for recreation. Well, for recreational harvest. So kind of a cool thing that doesn't happen a lot is the management's been going super well on Goliath grouper, which has become like a really sought after game fish in Florida, in the past 15, 20 years. And prior to that, they're super aggressive. They get super big and they got just knocked to shit. Like people were keeping them like crazy because they're huge fish and they're delicious. So people were killing them. The population's going crazy right now. So what they're doing is they're kind of running it a lottery system, kind of like a big game hunting tags, is that you can apply for a Goliath grouper harvest tag. And they're giving out tags to residents and non-residents of Florida for Goliath grouper season. So if you want to, the tags are already been allocated for this year, but if you want to get in the lottery for the next season, they're random draw tags for Goliath grouper going down to Florida.
I saw this. I got an email from like Florida, whatever, Fish and Wildlife.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool, because like we used to catch them quite a bit down there. But then did you see what the slot is on them?
Yeah, it's like they're only allowing you to kill the like small ones.
24 to 36
to
inches.
36 inches, yeah.
Which at first I was like, oh, that kind of is lame. But then I was like, dude, they're such a cool looking fish, even when they're that small, that
They're really badass.
I would get it mounted, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and it's just cool that it's like, I'm sure there will be like charter captains that are now targeting them that typically don't, and that kind of thing. And I don't know, just kind of a cool opportunity for sure. But like, yeah, like you were saying, I know the slot was different, and then they're doing some different stuff for like I think around Everglades National Park too. But there's they're giving out 200 tags, I believe is what I saw. Yep, 200 tags, random draw. So anybody can apply and scoop a tag, I
I
guess.
saw that. It would be pretty cool to be like, I got the tag. Like,
like the inaugural Goliath season, once they were whatever delisted from fishing games, no harvest quota or whatever.
Yes, yeah, I saw that and I was like, dang, that'd be sweet to be on like the first season.
Oh, Pink went muted. That's the first time they show it. There we go. Wow. While he was talking, that's the first time.
Well, anyway, so maybe we should all put in for tags.
Yeah, I think that could be fun.
Maybe one of us will draw and we'll go down.
All right, I'll catch one. You can cook it up.
Goliath mission.
That's kind of what he does.
When I was guiding down there, I knew some guys that would catch them pretty consistently about that size, like in the backwaters. Like they.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like fly fishing guides primarily, but they would catch them like pretty regularly. So they must kind of spend some time when they're smaller in the backwater and then move out. I know they're like almost like becoming a nuisance at one point. So
and I mean, some of these like bottom pieces and wrecks and stuff have so many on them, and they're all like 200 pounds. You know.
Oh, Pink, we lost you.
We lost him again.
Not have jinxed it.
God dang it! He did so well.
All right.
He's back.
Anyway, I never went and have gone after like the big ones. I think that'd be super dope. I'd like to do it sometime, but there's so much videos out there of guys doing it and just getting their asses kicked. It looks awesome.
We used to do it with we'd use a hand line, like just a piece of
like rope. Yeah.
Like a rope. Yeah. And then drop it and the clients would jig it over the side of the boat and then they'd fight it by hand. And then when they get tired, we just cleat it on the boat and just let it would rock the whole boat. And then you tire yourself out and then you grab it again. And
it's such a badass fish, dude.
They're sick.
Yeah.
Unreal.
That's sick. Okay, I do have something, and we'll dive into it just because this kind of happened before we got live. But we're recording this during the Monday Night Football game, and if anybody was watching football, there was a very unfortunate event that happened. I believe it's I can't remember his last name. Damar Hamlin for Buffalo just kind of went down on the field. There was an ambulance, and it was super scary. Basically, what I've seen online is that he's actually in critical condition right now, so it's not going well. So hopefully it goes a lot better. But what has happened with the game, from what I'm seeing, and the reports are apparently the ESPN broadcast ended. They went into the game was suspended. They went into the locker rooms, and then apparently Goodell, which this kind of dives into how big of a piece of shit Goodell really is in the NFL grand scheme of things, but told them to come back out, and they had 5 minutes to warm up, and they were going to resume play. And so the teams came out, started warming up, and Zach Taylor, who, if you don't watch the NFL, is a coach for the Bengals, went over to Sean McDermott, and they talked, and they both basically said, fuck that, and took their teams off the field and said they're not playing. So the game is just... Yeah, so the game's suspended right now, and then it sounds like ESPN stopped the broadcast. They were like, we're not filling up anything anymore. Like, this is stupid. And, so I have no idea what's actually happening right now, but that's just the latest I've gotten on that whole situation, which, I mean, is very real life and super freaking scary. But I thought it was noteworthy and time-worthy for us since we were literally he went down and was taken off on an ambulance the minute before we hit record on this podcast, I think.
I mean, good for them for doing that.
Yeah.
But how can the commissioner just be like, all right, I think we're good now?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It's all money.
Yeah, I think it makes you realize, like, when you find a leader or someone out there who actually has a heart and deals with humans as being humans, it goes a long ways compared to this, because like a lot of people have basically been saying the whole night is this decision should have been made, like, not by the players and everything, like, it, glad it did, but it should have been ended long before it was even debated. Like, it should have been like, yeah, we're not even sending them out, get everybody off, we'll figure this out later. Especially with the NFL, so much money. Like, they can just play the game a different day. Yeah, it's right before the playoffs. It's a divisional game. It's like probably, honestly, like the biggest Monday night game we've had in a long time.
They can play it on a Thursday.
Yeah, they can do it some other day. Like, it doesn't matter, especially with how do you expect players to watch that and then be like, yeah, I want to go back out and hit somebody right now.
Well, right. And they're like, these teams are like tight with each other, you know, to be like,
Sure.
just watch your buddy just like
Yeah.
have that
And-
happen to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen exactly what it is or anything, if it was a hard incident or what it is. But basically, the only thing I've been seeing is, which is, I think it's kind of a funny note to it, actually, more than anything, is if you remember how bad Booger was as a Monday night guy in the Booger Mobile years ago. Will, do you remember that, Cody? He actually, everyone's saying Booger crushed it in the like time where they had to kill time on air. Like, Booger was really good, I guess. So that's basically the highlight from the night. So
Hard to believe, but
I know, right? But yeah, it seems like most of the players are done. It sounds like Joe Burrow went over to the Bills locker room, and a lot of the players just ended up in one locker room. So it's crazy stuff. I mean, it's really real life stuff. It makes you it's a very sobering moment. It makes you all of a sudden be like, oh, this is real life. This isn't a simulation. We're just going through day by day.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy, and I hope he makes it because you said he's in critical condition.
That is what I have heard.
And what was the deal? He took a like a severe hit, and he had like heart issues or something.
It hasn't really come out, to be honest. Like, because there was a hit, and it didn't seem like the hit did anything. It seems like he more of just stood up, and I don't know if it was a heart attack or what, but he just went down.
I watched it live, and yeah, he was like in on a tackle, and then stood up, and then just like fainted, like the ground.
So it could have been like a concussion thing or something too, or they don't know.
It had to have been something else because they ended up doing CPR on.
Oh,
him
they
for
did.
like 5 or 10 minutes on the field.
That's scary, dude. Especially if fans there watching that too. Like, holy crap!
Just that's a situation. Yeah, you got paramedics, first responders there that are deal with this or whatever. You don't got 100,000 fans sitting there knowing what they're getting themselves into. But It's crazy. Like we said, real life stuff. But that's what in the world was going on. I figured might as well check in on that since we were all talking about it right before it went on. But Will, do you have an article, or Cody, you got anything?
Mine isn't that good.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah. Well, one thing
following that.
I'll send you guys a picture of it.
Following that, we need to end on something funny, not sombering or whatever that word would be, but somber, whatever. But we were talking about saltwater with Pinkalla, and it made me think, Will, because we haven't dove into this story on this podcast yet. Would you like to tell the good old story of Sobe coming to Florida pre-COVID and Will ending up in a hospital while everybody was on lockdown?
I think we're kind of pushing it for time as it is right now, but I will tell it in the near future.
That's a little teaser.
Yeah, it's a
little
good
teaser for everyone.
Story.
That is a fantastic story, but okay.
We'll talk about what you just sent us because I'm intrigued.
I saw this and I thought it was cool. And I don't know anything about forward facing sonar. I don't have it, but you guys probably do. But yeah, it's called the Live Sonar Intensifier Bait Pop. And shout out Bailey from Serious Angler. I saw he posted on Instagram, but it looks like you rub this gel on your bait and then the sonar picks it up. So I guess my question for you guys, since you've used it before, is that like something that would really help? Like, is it hard to see your bait on there? Like, if you could like glow it like this does, is that something that can like?
It kind of depends on the bait in this scenario. Like, I'm sure it'll have its time and place. Obviously, I think I have seen that, and I do think it'll be more of a gimmicky thing. What I think is much more helpful is like certain jig heads, for example, show up really, really, really good. Kind of like when you're ice fishing, like when you got a 90-degree line tie on your flasher, like it shows up so much better than a 45. It's kind of similar to that. So just figuring all that out. But I am intrigued by it. I think it could be interesting, but I don't know if it's like transparent or what it would be for color and all that, because generally if you are like live scoping a fish, they're not necessarily very active normally. You're trying to get them to be active. So you kind of got to be really natural. So I don't know what or how that's going to affect things, but generally you can see your baits fairly good now. A lot of the transducers are really good. They've all caught up pretty quickly. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I figured stuff like this was going to start coming out though.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's legit. I don't know.
It's like
I've never heard of it, so
it's like you see those flat face jig heads that are coming out now for swim baits or like straight tail swim baits and stuff like that. I mean, does it actually, like, can you see the bait a lot better? I don't know. I don't have experience with it. Same with, who knows what this goo is? What is this goo?
It does look like goo.
it
looks like goo.
Yeah. The bait pop live sonar intensifier.
But yeah, I got. Who knows?
It'll be cool. Yeah,
it could be good.
The accessories that come out of this new technology, like I always. Hey, a question for you, bass guys: do people still use the what is it called that makes the noises and the chirps?
Hydrowave.
Is that still
guys actually use
nowadays,
a lot more of them now?
Yeah, nowadays they do a lot.
Guys will put 2 or 3 of them on their trolling motor now to block out live imaging sound.
Good God.
Yeah. Because, well, I mean, and that's what we're going to run into too. Like we've given seminars on this, like in the winter for crappie stuff, but we're going to run into it open water too, for sure. Because I already ran into it in Smith Lake 2 years ago, just when I started using it. The fish are getting really, really boat shy of forward-facing sonar because a lot of those, like those units put off a ton of power, dude. Like we talk about with like Vexes having low power mode, how essential that is. Like unless forward-facing sonar comes out with something like that, where you can reduce the power that's coming out and pinging, these fish are going to be like those fish they're chasing now are going to be uncatchable because you're never going to be able to catch up to them. Because like Pink could attest to this. We ran into this crappie fishing where we found fish you can't even catch up to anymore.
Yeah, or they have like such a hard wall as far as how close you can get before they're just like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, we've seen with crappies, like they'll basically now you got about 30 feet. Once it gets to 30 feet, they'll like feel it and they'll just turn and go around you.
Like even if they're just like swimming on their own, like you're not pushing them, they're not doing anything, they're just cruising, and then they hit 30 feet and they just all stop. The whole school just like piles up when they hit this like
it's
threshold.
like a force field.
It's crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've known 3 years ago, they like where live scope really took on was Hartwell down in South Carolina. And guys would be like pushing them like a flashlight, like a deer and headlights, and just like pushing animals. And they would cast their bait out this way. And I'm trying to look at the screen and do this at the same time. Start. They would cast their bait out this way, and they would push the fish off the cane pile in order to get them closer to their bait. And they would position them, and they were winning tons of tournaments doing that.
Yeah, that's wild. It does affect fish though in a big way. Like, yeah, especially since you get to see it happen. It's like, yeah, it definitely does.
Have you ever been under the water and listened to all the noise that's going on?
Oh, dude, it's so
obnoxious. It's obnoxious.
It's so loud. So yeah, hydrowaves do get used a lot. I'm going to be very intrigued to see, like, in 3 or 4 years, basically, what this technology boom is going to do and like how it's going to change. Like, because it might sound crazy, but I really do think there's potential that live imaging could end up being a thing that kind of dies out in a handful of years. Just because I think these fish are going to adapt so hard to getting away from it and the pressure, because we're already seeing it with we're seeing it with crappies ice fishing. Like we have to put it away. Like otherwise
I would totally agree with you.
So I do think that's going to happen. I think one thing that will actually stay a staple though, because it's really not loud and it just does structure, is like Humminbird 360. Like that's something.
Your side imaging is going to stay around for forever.
Yeah, but that live imaging, unless something gets changed, and I don't really know how they're going to do that because all they're doing is just smoking a fish in their lateral line, and they're figuring that out very rapidly.
Yeah, but you got to think like that stuff's going to keep getting bad.
OP cut out.
I think what he was about to say is like that technology is going to get muffled. There's pretty soon it's going to come down to like they already have this stuff worked out. I mean, the military has the game plan already figured out. They're just leaking this information for them to like exploit it, whatever. I mean, side imaging was around back in like the 40s, like 1940s. It was made for submarines, finding submarines in the ocean, miles away. But we're only limited to what, 200 feet?
100 to 200 feet.
200 feet. like pretty soon it's going to end up being like someone will figure out like a depth bomb where like you push a button on your graph and it just scans the entire lake, and that is it. Like that projection scans the entire lake, whether it's contour, fish, weeds, rocks, doesn't matter. I think that's what it's going to come down to. And I think once it hits that point, it's like you've got to put a limit on it.
Yeah, I think we are going to run into a place. So I know the Minnesota DNR is talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are other ones that are, and these electronic companies have a lot of money, but the grand scheme is like, I know you guys talk about this a lot in hunting compared to fishing. I don't think we necessarily talk about it as much, but like fair play, like fair sport, at what point do you go over that?
Well, and I think it's a little different because it's way more emotional when you talk about hunting stuff, like especially the people that are opposed to it. So I think the regulations there are a little bit differently put on, but yeah, especially with the technology the way it's going, I mean, especially you have all these anglers, everyone's just like hungry for more information to like interact with fish and understand what they do. So it's like everyone wants live. If you don't have it, you want it because you at least want to like use it. Same with like when underwater cameras first came out, like everybody wanted them because you could actually see what was going on. Well, it's the same thing. I mean, it's not, but it's like the same mentality. You just want to like get more information. So until there's like regulations about it, people are just going to keep doing it, and it's going to keep advancing, getting better.
Yeah,
but it is sick.
There will be adaptations. I think also the DNR is just waiting to see like what is actually the effect and what's happening.
Yeah.
You can't just immediately react.
I would not be surprised if they start considering it like a line.
Yeah.
Like in the next year or two, that they would say that it counts as one of your lines.
And that would really suck in Minnesota because we only get one open.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're going to say, okay, well, you can use it, and then you can't cast at the same time.
I know so many lakes up north that are just getting absolutely freaking mutilated by live imaging with like, eater crappies, like 12 to 10 to 13-inch crappies.
Well, yeah, because people are killing the fish.
They just wreck them.
Like it's not like they're letting them go.
No, absolutely not. And it's and I know there are like guides who use it, and it's a great tool for guides to get their clients on fish. But at the same time, it's an instant 10 out, 10 out, 10 out every single day per person.
Because you're never not
like,
on
that's
them.
You're never not on them. And immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Catch
you
and
can't
release.
Just sit in the hole.
Catch and release and selective harvest has been preached pretty hard for a long time, but like it's almost needs to get preached even harder now for the people who won't respect the resource and will absolutely decimate it.
Because it's like the most efficient form of like recreational fishing that exists right now. Is using that.
And I want to like put to that it's not just that they're like abusing the resource. They're just doing their job. Like these guides are just literally just doing their job, like to put people on fish. But at the same time, they're so efficient at doing that. It's mutilating like fisheries, just absolutely destroying them.
Well, especially in that area, like you're talking like northern Wisconsin too. It's not like these lakes are just shitloaded with them. Like
no,
they have solid populations that are very like cyclic, and then some years there's like very little, even like keepable size crappies or panfish in any of those lakes.
Correct.
No, that's a good point. Well, that's a good topic you ended up bringing up, Stolski. So that's a good one. And so this is another episode of Pass the Barb. I think the next one will probably be diving into a weigh-in segment or maybe some other stuff going on. Or actually, we might have the Crappie Chronicles boys on, actually, now that I think about it. But either way, thank you for tuning in. Please rate, subscribe, share this with your friends. We're trying to get a little bit bigger, piece by piece, brick by brick, right, boys? Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's go. We got at least one brick, right?
I hope so.
We got one. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, great. Rip my eyes out with a spoon. All right. That is another episode of Pass the Barb, and we will be back next week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.